I think that the idea of anyone's greatest hits collection is that the songs were meant to be bookmarkers, periods in time where people could look back on those bookmarks and say, this was this place and time in my life.
Absolutely. I mean, if you come to see a Bon Jovi show, there's 3 generations of people that show up, and those songs probably mean something different, not only to every person, but to every different generation.
When I wrote Runaway, I realized at the time, even as a young boy, that in order to have what was called a career in music, you were going to have to start writing. But at the house that I grew up in penned that, and fortunately, it became a single in the song and the record, and all the things that subsequently followed. But there was a social aspect, right from the outset. I was aware of my surroundings.
It was our first big hit, and I was just thrilled. So there's a lot of respect for that song.
The magic of a song like that is that it is timeless, and it knows no bounds, religion or borders or languages at this point. That same struggle is universal and timeless. You Give Love a Bad Name? It's our first number 1.
Yeah, it was our first number 1. I mean, we literally wrote it in my mother's basement, next to the washing machine, on the old kitchen set, just over a cup of coffee and conversation. A lot of times it's spontaneous combustion.
I remember we wrote it in Vancouver. It was during the process in New Jersey. That long introduction was going to start the album off, and the idea that we were thinking show opener, and the interaction with our audience, and trust me and I'll trust you, kind of lay your hands on me, and I'll carry you through.
You know what? It's probably my favorite ballad that we've ever written, personally. Again, it was another one of those wonderful number 1 experience moments.
Just to add to one thing about I'll Be There For You that Richie had said, is I think that any great ballad needs just a little bit of pain in it. It can't be just, I love you, yeah, I love you, baby, I love you, mama. It's got to be a little bit of pain in order to help you get that message across that, through the pain, comes the sun, shining someday. I remember one of the great compliments about Bad Medicine is Elvis Costello being on stage singing it, saying that what a great pop song it was, and for us as Costello fans, to have Elvis, say that and record, perform it was a huge thrill. I wrote that in a period while we were getting songs together for Keep the Faith. Richie had done his first solo record, and I had done the Young Guns record. And so we had taken this very conscious time and place and period away from the band, because we had had 4 albums back to back to back to back, and the business has gotten so overwhelming. And that day I sat there incredibly hungover and hit a couple of chords and sitting here wasted and wounded at this old piano, trying hard to capture the moment. But this morning I don't know, because there's a bottle of vodka still lodged in my head, and some blonde gave me nightmares. I think she's still in my bed. And I took my time and got it right, and it told a great story that I just really wanted to get the hell away from Los Angeles and go home where it was safe. The song was a game changer. We didn't know at the time, but I knew the lyrical standpoint. And that song was taken on by so many different people from so many different walks of life that they said, no, it's my life. It had nothing to do with us any longer. It was their own life.
It was in your Malibu house.
Yeah.
That we did it.
Yeah.
And
Dave and I had been pounding that one out for... David wanted to write a song so bad. He barely gets in between to ever write anything. And I started to write that with him, and we were calling it Changing Water into Wine, and it was just never working. And then Richie came over.
And you know what? It was a title that I had that was a ballad. But the title that I was working on for a solo album that I had was called If You Were in These Arms Tonight. And it was something that I never used. And I said, how about In These Arms? And we just kind of went at it and
Fixed the chorus.
Yeah, we pounded it out. And you know, sometimes it happens that way.
The whole Circle album with Born to Follow, When We Were Beautiful, Work for the Working Man, looking around you at the time of the economic downturn on Wall Street and the banking crisis, the car crisis in Detroit, the election of what became our president. With the chain of events, we wrote what became The Circle, and in the excitement of what was becoming the election of our president, and subsequently these uprisings against these dictators, you know, we were able to come out with an empowering song like Born to Follow. Right. And the reaction from the audience from the first day was one of unity. You know, it felt like that kind of song you were proud to write and want to play live for a long time.
There was that kind of feeling, like, okay, man, you know, like, take the bull by the horns. I know it's tough right now, but if you're going to get through it, you're going to have to do something. Everybody's going to have to do something, not just one of us. It's got to be, everybody's got to do a little something.
Well, I know we wrote it in a day. It was pretty simple to write. Anyhow, one thing led to another. And, you know, Who Says is became the New Jersey tourism theme song. It did, in fact, become the New Jersey tourism theme song.
Exactly. And it started out, this ain't love, this is life.
A little more harsh.
It was a little bit harsh.
Yeah.
It was more like, hey, man,
we're
coexisting. It still had that hope. Like, you know, this ain't love, this is life. You got to stick together. You know what I mean? Now we kind of loosened it up a little bit.
No matter who you are, you can relate that kind of a theme to your life. If you're a kid in school, or if you're a guy that has to go to work and has a hobby at night, you know, this is who I am, this is what I do. If you don't like it, too bad.
It sounds like a romantic title, but if you get into the lyric, it's very profound.
It's actually, I don't know if it sounds like a romantic title because it's very Jersey. What do you got?
Hey.
That's the way people.
There you go.
What do you got?
I like that better. You know what? My profound theory. Let's cut that.
Here's this Jersey title. What do you got?
Hey, what do you got, huh? I like that better.
What do you got?
Yeah. Hell with my
grammatically wrong.
Hell with my
grammatically wrong. Grammatically incorrect.
It's completely grammatically
what do you
incorrect.
Got?
What do you got?
Anthematic. What?
Perfect. Hey.
See, in Jersey, we didn't have a T. It's just what?
We didn't take English in Jersey. We didn't take it.
What? Ladies and gentlemen, our national anthem. When the day comes that we don't wake up again, that'll be the song that they write about in our obit. It's a road song. It came from a pure place at an innocent time. And it's something that when we perform it, it's honest every night. You sing it like it's the last time you're ever going to sing it.
Can't argue with that one.
It's been a blessed life because anyone who gets the opportunity to do what they love to do and then to actually get paid to do it, you don't take that for granted.